KCAA Radio, 1050 on your AM dial. Did I get you? You guys still there? Listen, I'm in a new house. If you guys are on your way to see me and be here with me this morning, come in the back door. We are really set up with a nice studio here. I really appreciate Fred Lundgren, thank you very much. Mark, doing a good job. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen on the case for truth and justice with the right information to help improve the situation. Miss Tammy, I'm waiting for you so you can show me how to set this Facebook Live thing up. I don't know how to do all of that, but folks, we've got some exciting, well, it's not exciting that Mr. John McCain left us, but the legacy that he left is exciting, and it is a model. It is a model for what we should be looking forward to have our elected officials be. We should look forward to holding him up as a hero, an example of the morality that America was hopefully moving to be. We're not there yet, but you know, we certainly have a tradition and a reputation as people of high moral character, as people of freedom-loving people, and people of respect. Those are the rumors. That's not where we are 100%, folks, but those are great goals to look at. I'm going to talk a little bit about Mr. McCain and why I think he's a great guy. I'm also going to talk to you about a person that is a business that has moved into the city of San Bernardino, and I think that the integrity, the goals that this business owner has set are comparable to the high moral fiber that John McCain is part of. We're talking about people of integrity, we're talking about people of belief, we're talking about people of faith in this country, faith in their neighborhood, faith in your region, faith in your fellow man. I want to start off by saying, well, San Bernardino, the city, a place that has been under siege in terms of bad reputation, a place that has had terrorist attack. We've had fires, we've had a bankruptcy, we've had crime, but we also are one of the most beautiful places on the planet. We also are a place where every day people show their kindness, their concern for others. We're a place where every day there's a policeman who does something special. There's an elected official who does the right thing. So we're not going to wallow in the mire, but we are going to admire the people who don't wallow. And one of those people, one of those businesses, Rogers Burgers. Okay, Wallace. I know if Tammy was here, she's going to tell me about burgers or not. But listen, Rogers Burgers opened up a 24-hour, get it now, 24-hour burger stand, not next to the freeway, not on the freeway. They didn't set up a little aisle on the freeway where you could just drive by and pick it up. They're actually about 4 blocks off the freeway in the city of San Bernardino on the corner of 6th and D. Happens to be right next to West Side Story newspaper offices where I reside most of the time. And though I made a commitment some time ago to leave beef alone, leave the meat alone, because I was seeing such a great example from Miss Tammy Martin Riles and you know, the wonders that eating raw has done for her health and friends of hers. But the temptation next door, I've yielded to it. I stepped up. First thing I noticed was a 24-hour sign. You know, 24 hours in San Bernardino? How are you going to do that? And I went next door to, you know, solicit the man's business to a certain degree and check out what's going on. And there were dozens of people in his store. So I'm not talking about somebody who needs our immediate help in making noise for him, but I'm talking to a community that needs to understand when somebody opens up a 24-hour hamburger stand, and it's not a hamburger stand, it's a hamburger restaurant, and I haven't even talked to you about the kind of food that the guy has, because those are really incidentals as far as my admiration initially was created for. It was for his 24-hour commitment. It was for his, and then I went in the place, and he's got 7, 8 people working 24 hours. People working jobs. So wow, this is really something. And then I did it. I looked at the menu, and I noticed, first thing I noticed on the menu, to my satisfaction, it gave me further excuse to hang around, was they had a Impossible Burger. It's a vegan patty, wheat, coconut oil, potatoes, home plant-based meat substitute, Rogers sauce, red onions, tomatoes, and pickles. Wow. How do you refuse that? Especially if you've been co-hosting a radio show with Tammy Martin Rouse, the raw eating queen. She, come on in, Tammy, please take a seat here next to me. We've got some new digs here in San Bernardino's KCAA radio station. We're actually out in Loma Linda, Redlands, at the Burlington Mall. What do they call this mall? The Tri-City Mall, Tri-City Center. It's right off of Alabama. Matter of fact, it's one of the nicest things that Alabama has brought to us. Oh, we're on camera. Work across that camera. That was Tammy. So you guys don't think we're being, bum rushed by anybody. And Tammy, if you can set me up for live here, I don't know how to do that. We do it right on the spot. Do it right on the spot. There's a Facebook thing there.
Learning is process.
How you doing?
Proud of you.
Oh well, your threshold is fairly low, and I appreciate that I've crossed it. Because you like some of the many people that I admire, have a very forgiving heart and a very inspiring message. So, being that your message is to inspire people to eat correctly and eat well, I have to admit, Tammy, everybody doesn't want to eat without meat. And so, I'm just saying, if you want some meat, you want it to be good, you might as well start with somebody who is liking it. Listen, folks, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Rogers right now, but I am going to say he's open 24 hours. If you like a burger and you've got a friend or mate that is vegetarian or vegan, for the first time, you guys can go sit in the same hamburger stand and enjoy each other's company and the great food that's available to you there. So, Rogers Burgers, it's got a couple of places. One in Glendale, Burbank, and one at 591 North D Street in San Bernardino. Yeah, that's the best place to put that in there so you can hear it. And they do deliver. So I'm going to give you the phone number. It's 909-381-8001. That's 909-381-8001. I know it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I know you're not ready to do the whole deal, but he's open 24 hours, and he's got breakfast burrito. He's got a loaded breakfast burrito. Got bacon, lettuce, and tomato. Tammy said you could leave the bacon off, make her a good lettuce tomato sandwich. They got a potato scramble. That's it. Go support someone who's got faith in you, that's got faith in your city, that is employing your neighbors. Rogers Burgers. Maybe we'll get Mr. Roger to come in one day or call in and, oh, Miss Tammy's looking at the burger menu. See, we're both working sideways. Mm-hmm. The thing that we're going to take our breaks on time. We've got a break coming up right now. When we come back, I want to tell you why I admire Mr. George McCain. 3 reasons. I'm going to give you 3. I'll do this about a lot more, but I'm going to talk about 3 things to me that demonstrate his integrity and things that we should maybe try to emulate as we move through our lives. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. Sitting next to me, Miss Tammy Martin Rouse. We're riling things up, and we're all ready for you guys to give us a call.
909-792-5222.
Very good. And we're going to holler at you folks offline here. Take it away, my friend.
Broadcasting to the Moreno Valley, Corona, and Riverside.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
Covered California knows that one moment can change your life. That moment you say I do. That moment you meet your baby for the first time. Or even that moment you lose your job and your health insurance along with it. For those times when life changes, we've got you covered. Covered California lets you choose from brand name health plans, and you may even get help paying for it. Your enrollment period is limited, so find out if you qualify by getting free expert help at coveredca.com today. Covered California. It's more than just health care. It's life care.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
All right, this is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen with Miss Tammy Martin Riles, and we are all Facebooked up. You can chase us down in that direction. But, Tammy, I know that Mr. McCain, you know he passed.
Yes,
I know you
81 years old.
82.
Oh,
81,
okay,
82?
well, they lying on that.
Well, you know, I don't know. But we all can stretch our birthday thing a little bit. There was, Mr. McCain was a Navy man, a pilot, and he was shot down over Vietnam, and he was held as a prisoner of war. He was offered the opportunity as a prisoner of war because of his status. His officers set up, and the fact that his father was an admiral, I think some of that may have had something to do with it. He was offered the opportunity to be released. Now, prisoner of war, he was tortured when his airplane crashed, when he was shot down. He broke both of his arms, one of his legs, and a couple of ribs. He was tortured. His arms were permanently deformed as a result of that accident and of the torture that he took. But the man chose to stay in captivity because though they were willing to release him early, they were not willing to release the people who were there long before him on time, or release them or give them any kind of break. So he did something that you and I read about in comic books, read about in superhero stories, read about or heard about on TV in fictional stories. But in reality, this man said, no, I refuse to leave. I refuse to go.
He wanted to serve his country.
Well, he was demonstrating some integrity, serving his country. He was doing that. But he wanted some fairness for other prisoners. He was thinking about the welfare of other people, and he put that above his own personal comfort. Now, that's something as we think about it. Think about yourself. You know, think of that if you're isolated away. I mean, don't even think about you being in prison. Don't think even about being tortured. But you are locked away from your family and friends for years, 5 years. And they offered to let you go home, but there's other people that are being hurt and harmed and left out, and you say, well, I can't go if you can't let them go. Now, how many of us would do that? Oh, it's easy to say, oh, yeah, I'm a...
It's called being a leader.
Yes, it is. It's called being a leader. It's called being a person of integrity.
Yeah, and it's, it's another form of what is a true leader. And then you start looking at everything that you just named about John McCain, and not wanting to lead people who's thinking, I'll be a better service here, helping, to keep their minds together, and to letting them know that, hey, we're all in combat together.
Now, for the conspiracy theorist who was saying, well, while he was in captivity, he was probably thinking ahead and saying, you know, one day when I get out of here, I may go back to the United States, and I want to be, you know, I want to be electable. I want people to like me, so I'm going to make this sacrifice.
Right. We don't know if we're going to be dying. We got kids or wife. We don't know what we're doing, but
right.
I'm thinking, because I know, you know,
so
locked out of the house.
Well, there's some people. There's some people who said he's not a hero when he came back. I mean, we have a president of the United States that said he didn't like captive people. He liked heroes that never got captive. He's simply reflecting thoughts that other people have. Now, I'm not getting on anybody for their thought press, and I praise the Lord for letting me be exposed to it, because if I'm walking through the jungle, I want to know where the lions and gorillas and beasts are. So when they announce themselves, I'm not mad. But there were people when John McCain came back from from his term of service and decided to run for office. There were some people who said, "Oh no, this guy is not for real. He's gonna," but he proved him different. Example number 2: when he was running for president against Barack Obama. You know, Barack Obama was the victim of a lot of false reports. As a matter of fact, the president that we've got now is the one who instigated a big. Barack Obama is not a United States citizen. Well, he stood on that. You know, Mr. Trump stood on that, and he still mentions it whenever he needs another level of distraction. But we're not here to talk about Mr. Trump. We're here to talk about Mr. McCain. So Mr. McCain, as he's campaigning against Barack Obama, and he's got access to all kinds of low-life, gutter-sleeping type of comments and charges that he can make. As a matter of fact, he's at one of his rallies when a woman speaks up.
I know that one.
That woman stood up and said she didn't trust Obama.
Well, she said some pretty.
Well, and the one thing she said, because I think he's and then she said Arab, you know, maybe an Arab side, but you could hear in her voice that there was something else. But McCain,
go down that different road.
Mr. McCain cut her off, not cutting her off, but as she completed, he said, no. Mr. Obama is a family man who loves America, and we simply have some disagreements about policy, but he's a good man. Now,
yes. I remember that.
That's a pretty strong mark for integrity.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Whether you liked or voted for McCain or not, I tell you, that was a moment where if you were even an Obama advocate, that you wouldn't feel super depressed if a man of the character that McCain demonstrated actually became president. If I'm going to lose, I'd rather win by losing in that format, you know. So he never threatened the morality, the moral ceiling that we expect to have. As a matter of fact, he occupied if not the ceiling, the roof. He certainly was up at the top floor. He had integrity. He had a feeling. You could disagree with him from what I'm understanding, and you still would not feel that he was trying to cut your legs out from under you or injure your family or do any of the things that would make America not be great, unlike others who may be simply fighting for their position. He fought for the position, the right position, the position that his heartbeat told him was correct. You got to admire that. And point number 3. Well, my point number 3 is, you know, as much as I understand the importance of people being healthy and getting their care when they're hurt, I do know that the emergency room is not the best place for people to find out about their illnesses. I think that the same way that you tell me about eating, that there's certain things you can eat that will make you be able to predict your coming health situation. There's certain things that you can do that will help predict and control your coming health situation. But we are not perfect, and sometimes trucks and cars run into people who are out doing things to make themselves healthy. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. He was telling me about his wife who walks 4 or 5 miles every 3 or 4 days a week, and she got hit by a car. She's not seriously injured, but the accident was too recent for you to be able to tell how injured she is. So we may have injuries, but we need health care. Mr. Obama set up a program for health care, and to tease him, his opponents started calling it Obamacare.
Wait a minute now. We done with Kane?
No. I'm getting ready to show. I'm getting ready to show you how McCain stepped up to protect health care, despite the fact that it was named Obamacare. Yes, that's okay. But I appreciate you keeping me on in the right lane, because I could have crossed over into the yellow and got one of them accidents I was just talking about. So during this healthcare debate, because Mr. Trump and I guess there's people who thought we're spending too much money on taking care of people and letting businesses flounder. So the businesses were out of the country, and big corporate companies that were not hiring people in America are losing. That was more of the concentration of the people who did not want Obamacare, and the idea of someone who can't afford to pay for health care getting health care seemed to just really anger the 1%ers, the people who have all of the money. Well, so there was a vote. There was this big gathering to vote out Obamacare. We don't need health care for poor people. We don't need health care. The Republican Party was depending upon John McCain. Donald Trump, unfortunately for the Republican Party, was also depending on John McCain. And John McCain evidently didn't like the idea that people were depending on someone to be truthful and fair who couldn't even demonstrate being truthful, certainly not fair. And so John McCain, identified the act of getting rid of Obamacare as one that showed Republicans don't care, and he did not want that statement to be completed, despite the fact that it was started by the new president. So, to demonstrate that Obamacare was not, I don't care, Mr. McCain at the last, oh man, the drama. His vote was the vote that was going to take it either over, yes, or He stepped up to the podium and he simply turned his thumb down. Whoa. Whoa. Very dramatic, but so satisfying, obviously, to him and to those folks who wanted to see a statement based on integrity, not a statement based on jealousy, not a statement based on politics, but a statement based on caring for America and its citizens and residents. So those three items make me say, yeah, John McCain's a pretty good guy. Oh, I didn't agree with everything he had to do and say, but that's not necessary.
Well, let me say this. I got a comment from Miss Cynthia Frazier. She says there are folks, Republicans, who are denigrating McCain's memory simply because he didn't vote to repeal the ACA. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the deal, and we do appreciate your statements. Tweet us out, write us back, and we'll chat with you guys a little bit, either through Facebook or in real life. So you can come back and talk to us a little bit later. We're going to take a break, but before we go out of here, I do want to remind you that Labor Day coming up this weekend.
Yes.
And Saturday, as we lead into Labor Day, we're going to open it up with a nice Jazz Experience, the IE Jazz Experience.
I have tickets.
And we've got tickets, and you can buy them, and I don't know, maybe you do a triple overback Mother May I somersault.
Yes,
we might give you one.
Pick them up right now.
Or they could,
I have them right in hand. I got some tickets. Should I go show it to them?
You can get some, and when you come back, we're going to show you the tickets. You've actually got them in hand. But we've got a couple of some really great artists, but there's a couple that I have just been hung out on. And I think that's Mr. Jason Weber online in the background now, because playing that mean baritone saxophone like it's some kind of I mean, he hits notes the same way people hit notes on the soprano sax. The guy is tongue prick. You don't want to miss him. His selection of notes are amazing, and it's a jazz feel, but you know, you kind of feel yourself moving around, bouncing when you listen to Mr. Jason Weber. We'll talk more about the IE Jazz Experience as we come back. You guys go get you something to eat. You know, you could run over to Rogers and get you one of those burrito burgers, or you could give him a call. What's his number again? As we fade out of here.
Okay, the number is 909-381-8001, and I'll post it on Facebook Live. And then the address is
6th and D in San Bernardino. Yeah. And if you're on the freeway, you can go check him out in Burbank too.
591 North D Street. I gotta go over there and get a vegan burger today.
6th and D, right there, next to West Side Story newspaper. We'll be back right after this break.
Roger Burgers needs to know about the Black Chamber.
Yes, he does. And he's
yes. High five.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first.
I never planned on losing my job, but we all know life can change in an instant. And losing my family's health insurance was an even tougher pill to swallow. So I looked into Cobra, but too pricey. Then I found out I could enroll through Covered California, where I was able to choose from good health insurance companies I've actually heard of. I even got help paying for it.
There's a limited time to qualify after losing your insurance, so check out CoveredCA.com today. Covered California. It's more than just health care. It's life care.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
KCAA is your CNBC news affiliate. We're the station that gets down to business.
We're back. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen with Miss Tammy Martin-Riles. We're live on Facebook. We're live on KCAAradio.com, and we are really happy. We got a new studio. We're in a new studio. It's like having a new house and full of wheels. No basement, however, but we've got extra bathrooms and showers and all that stuff. Really great place. And Tammy's showing you the tickets. Tickets to the IE Jazz Experience that's taking place this Saturday at the Mountain Vista Winery in Rancho Cucamonga. Boy, City of Rancho Cucamonga is a really amazing place. They did just about everything they could to discourage Mr. Brian AC from having this event there. We're going to talk really about the city of Rancho Cucamonga in the future here, because we need to loosen them up. They need to understand they're sitting right in the middle of the Route 66 that wants to invite people from all over the world to come and spend money and have a good time on our Route 66 Inland Empire. And so you need to loosen up over there, Rancho, because we want to do events. We want things that come out to make people, to do things that make people want to come out and have a good time. So that's what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Now, we did have, look at those tickets, $35 will get you in, and $100 will get you in the front row. It might even let you sing. I don't know, but we'll have to talk to Mr. Cochran about, what the VIP ticket allows you to do. I suggested that it might allow you to get a little stage time. I don't know. I will say this. I'm going to be emceeing a portion of the show, and if you're a VIP and you're sitting in the front row and you've had enough, if the wine has made your voice tune up, I am the kind of guy who's willing to let you get some stage time, and we won't even call it open mic. I will introduce you like the star you really are. So, you want a VIP, you want to break in, you want to do a stage break, we could work it out. I'm not promising, but I am promising that I will pay attention to you. I will pay attention to your request, and I may surprise Brian by bringing you up on stage and letting you sing, or attempt to sing. You really? Okay. I back up the tape and erase that part. I don't want to get in trouble.
People gonna show up.
People showing up with their big hats and their, Don't be scared. I ain't scared. Tammy's just trying to scare me, but I'm not afraid. I will give you a break. I'm looking for the star. The Inland Empire is the home of stars that are waiting to be shined. Okay, so we'll shine you up and let you play. Oh, speaking of all of that, Lou Dowdy did a great thing last night with her model. Oh, yes, last night.
It was tonight.
No, it was last night.
I thought it was 26. Did you go?
No.
Oh, no. Jesus.
I got a phone call said it's really good.
Really? I thought it was the 26th. Okay.
All right. I hope it is again. If it is tonight, that would be a replay.
I could be totally wrong.
No, but if it's tonight, that gives me a chance to go. I'm going to look at West Side Story in a very few minutes and double check that.
Because I could be completely wrong.
No, both of us can.
Matter of fact, let me see.
Somebody call in. Let me see. Find out.
Yes, can you call in and let us know if the modeling pageant,
hip hop show,
was last night, and then Wallace wants to keep himself out of trouble.
No, I'm already in trouble.
Oh, you stay in trouble.
I'm in trouble. I need.
Just claim it. Just say you're in trouble, so then you don't have to be in trouble.
Listen, my memory is too bad to remember the lie, so I cannot tell the lie. It won't work. You guys will have the truth immediately after. Joe, somebody's on the line there. I don't know who it is. Might be somebody calling to tell me how crazy I am. We need to give them some airtime, if that's the case. So, as we are looking forward to the September 1st, also Michael Haggins will be playing, and we'll give you a chance to hear some of his music. But don't be over. Okay, Joe, am I in trouble? Who is it? What's that? Okay, he's good. Okay, Tammy, you had a note from one of our Facebook observers that said something about, though we're here talking about how wonderful Mr. McCain is, one of our listeners wants us to remind you that he did vote for the big tax cut for the rich that had been described as something to benefit the poor and middle class. Of course, he didn't say it was to benefit the poor and middle class. Mr. Trump did. But everybody who voted for it, they were really hardcore, mean-spirited people. And they happen to be Republicans. I'm not saying all Republicans are like that, but I'm telling you, that's a mean-spirited deal when you do a tax cut for the super rich that ends up taking jobs. Oh, it's going to trickle down. Yeah, right. It didn't trickle anywhere. It trickles over back into the hidden bank accounts in the Caribbean and Australia and Sweden, wherever they're hiding their money. We need to straighten that out. We need to get our tax monies here working. We need our highways and bridges fixed. Come on, did you see the bridges fall down? I mean, how much confidence does it give you? As you're working your way around the big transition from one freeway to another, 100 feet up in the air, don't you want the concrete and the structure of the bridge to be sound? Come on, folks. So we can't play with things like that. Yeah, and that's what we're doing when we don't hear our infrastructure. Yeah, let's hear the comment.
Oh, just And then also, again, if somebody could definitely call in and tell us if the show was last night or tonight, because I'm searching. I don't see no pictures, but I probably won't get none anyway. So let's see here. Charles Mangum. He said, we're speaking of John McCain, and we're speaking of, we've been talking about John because some people just came on. So we've been talking about his heroic and leadership skills and staying true to who he is and staying a model citizen. So Charles Mangum said,
who sometimes voted the way you didn't want him to,
yes, but he was still, he says that he did, and this is response to what you're saying as far as how he voted towards health and all this other stuff. He did, but he also voted to the tax bill that diminished Obamacare and raised taxes for lower class and gave tax breaks to the rich. Not sure whether that was the cancer kicking in to change his stance or just didn't care anymore.
Yeah, that you kind of ended that kind of Trumpishly, but I understand what you're saying, and yeah, we once we started admiring him for one thing, we certainly opened
a benefit. We don't know.
When we praise him on one end, we open the door for him to be admonished on the other side. That's just the way it is, and so he was big enough to accept it, and I certainly am too. I'm thinking that there's still not enough Republicans of his stature, and I think we need more. If we're going to get Republicans, they need to be people who are thinking about people and not so much about business.
I would agree.
So that's where we are. We're going to take an early break.
We're going to take an early.
And when we come back, we're going to know for sure about Lou's program. We'll be right back after this short break. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen, and I think we're going to go out and hear a little bit of Michael Haggins. If it's a guitar sound, that's what it is. If it's more of that baritone sax, then you're going to be listening to Jason Weber. But you're going to be listening to somebody right now. 3, 2, 1. Take it away, Jim.
Well, you've done it now. You're listening to KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station. So expect the unexpected.
Publish your legal notice in West Side Story newspaper. For the best service and the best rates, call 909-384-8131. Publishing legal notices in the city and county of San Bernardino since 1990. West Side Story provides friendly expert service. Call 909-384-8131 to benefit from budget-friendly rates. Whether a fictitious business name, a name change, a divorce summons, or any other legal or public notice, call West Side Story newspaper 909-384-8131. 909-384-8131. That's 909-384-8131.
Covered California knows that one moment can change your life. That moment you say, I do. That moment you meet your baby for the first time. Or even that moment you lose your job and your health insurance along with it. For those times when life changes, we've got you covered. Covered California lets you choose from brand name health plans, and you may even get help paying for it. Your enrollment period is limited, so find out if you qualify by getting free expert help at coveredca.com today. Covered California. It's more than just health care. It's life care.
KCAA Loma Linda, your CNBC news station, where your business comes first.
Oh, we are back. This is Empire Talks Back. I'm Wallace Allen. This is Tammy Martin Riles, and I am here to let you know that someone called me last night and told me how good it's going to be tonight. I must have totally misunderstood them in my moments of almost asleep and almost. I did a lot of driving Friday, so I ended up doing a lot of sleeping yesterday to catch up, and I'm so happy to say that tonight, beginning at 5:30 sharp at the Women's Center at, what address is that? Just on North D, just north of the 210 freeway on East Street. The Women's Club will host Miss Lou Dowdy's extravaganza. It's a fashion show, it's a hip-hop show, it's the second annual BBW model competition. This is BBW. You know, it's big-bodied women, bold-bodied women, big, beautiful women, big-bootied women. I'm not sure. I'm big-boned women.
How about beautiful?
Don't get me out in trouble here. Bodacious. Bold and beautiful. Anyway, they will be putting it together, and the tickets are $25. There's food and music. And
hopefully there's some vegan food. You know, we got to start or some plant-based.
Plant-based food.
Let me tell you something. I went to an event, and it was a really good event, and I was catered. And what I noticed is that the plate, everybody was so excited because they had, prime rib steak on the plate. And
it's hard.
Watch this.
It's hard not to order that.
But here's what I want to talk about. They had the big plate, right? The steak was probably the size of your hand, and they had 2 carrots and maybe 3 little asparagus on the whole entire plate. And so, and you sit back, and some little corn, little fritter thing. But
to add the color, had something red, something green,
and people don't know how important that. We look at it like, oh yeah, I made it. This is what you eat. You need
go get me this big steak.
Pick up your books and
some potatoes.
All diseases steal from animal products. So it's not the draw of the luck. It's the draw of what you put in your mouth.
And you're paying for it anyway.
Yes.
So I mean, it's part of the ticket. But it's the world has told us that when you make it, you want a big fat steak and some potato or a potato. I don't know. But I say this, if you got to have some meat, and I'm not the one to tell you that you can't have it, you might want to try Rogers, because he's going to give you some really good 100% Angus beef. Anyway, it's 6th and D Street. Go there today. Miss Tammy says she's going to stop by for the...
No, that's in Bourbon. Oh, no, it's in East. I keep thinking it's
He's got 2 shops.
D and 6.
He's got 2 shops, one in Burbank.
And
you don't want to miss that. Don't want to miss that. So as we're talking about that, and the fact that you do have tickets for this weekend's IE Jazz Experience, we want to, today's the last Sunday that we'll be here to talk about it before the show. So I do want to give you as much
call me for tickets.
Information about it as possible. You can get your tickets at the door. They'll cost you $50 more. No. But you can. But you should get your tickets in advance. Yes.
Get them in advance at $35.
Right.
Inbox me so I can get you your tickets.
So we have Vaughn Fahey. Fahey. He's a sax guy.
Yes.
And Mr. Michael Haggins, he is really tough with the guitar. I'm so impressed with Jason Weber. I was listening to him for a moment last night. Ended up listening for a long time. He is really something on that baritone sax, and he's got some good people with him. There will be a jazz zone. I think that's like a little memorabilia thing where you can hang out and maybe buy some things. That will be there.
That's the VIP.
Yes, and Tevin Ray, she's a singer, and so she's going to do, I'm not sure, I think we're doing a little profiling here with Nick Gomez and Latin jazz. I listen to him extensively, and his name is Latin, but his jazz is straight ahead. So I think you're going to enjoy him, and hopefully, I love some Latin jazz. That's why I was listening for it, to see if he was going to give it to me. Maybe I just didn't listen long enough last night. But you're going to have a great show. Tammy.
Yes.
Are you a painter? Have you ever drawn anything, pictures?
Of course. You give
your
me a brush, I'll paint.
Your talents take you in that direction.
My talents take me up.
Well, there will be a paint and sip at the Jazz Experience, where you will be able to taste the wonderful wines, and instead of just letting all of those wonderful thoughts go through your head as you're appreciating the wine, you've got a paintbrush and a canvas and paints, and you're able to demonstrate. You're able to I guess, pull on your inner Rembrandt, pull out your inner Charles Bibbs. Show that you have the ability to put something on canvas that somebody else might want to pay. Who knows? You may pay $35. Come in and get involved in the paint and sip, and paint something that's worth thousands of dollars. It could happen.
You might be stretching it a little bit, but
well,
anything's possible.
Okay, here it is. You're sitting there, you're having your wine, you're painting well, and there's someone next to you across the way imbibing, drinking their wine, and somehow the wine makes a connection between them and your drawing. Okay? Okay, and maybe they only got $100 bills in their pocket, and they want to give you some money for your painting. Now, folks, don't get over egotistical and refuse that first offer, because if he offers you, well, anyway, I'll be available to talk to you about my artist management duties at the Jazz Experience. I'm not gonna give you all of my consultation at this point, but I do want you to know it's available.
Doors open at
2 o'clock.
2.
Oh, doors open at 2. The weather will be nice. The atmosphere is amazing there. It's nice little shaded grounds at the Mountain View.
Are they allowing people to bring, because this is a couple questions I got.
Sure.
Are they allowing them to bring the little roller carts?
Yeah, bring it.
Bring it.
If there's a problem with it, come see me. I'll use my influence. But yeah, no.
Be checking inside. Don't be bringing no bottles and bringing no lids and stuff.
Yeah, not unless you're gonna share it with the right people.
I don't think they bring it.
They shouldn't bring that. But if they get that far with it and the police haven't stopped them,
like
why?
the police station, I mean, it's like the airport. You want to throw it out, or you want to walk all the way back to the car?
Well, or we could provide people to carry it back to the car for you. Now, I used to work for I worked security when I was in college for a very important producer, concert promoter in the Bay Area. And that was one of the things that he was very serious about. No alcohol at his concerts. If you find them, if they're bringing it in, they can take it back to the car, or they can watch you throw it into the dumpster and all of that. And boy, it was, I've never been a heavy drinker. Well, I used to be a heavy drinker. That's why I'm not a heavy drinker. But at that point in life, I had ceased being a heavy drinker in college. I tried it one more time after college, and I realized why I didn't do it before. But our whole thing was take it back to the car, or we throw it away. Now, in the Bay Area, there was, other things that people participated in for their enjoyment. He would, this particular promoter would tell us, no drugs. Let nobody, if you catch somebody selling drugs, turn them upside down. Oh, see that guy over there? I'll leave him alone. He's okay. So I'm just talking out of class, but that's the way it was. It's not going to be that way this Saturday. You are invited to come out to a great program. I'm expecting a large gathering of calm, cool, collected connoisseurs of jazz, wine, and of having a good time. If you know how to do those things, you're welcome to come. You're invited to come. We encourage you to come. And if you use my name, that $35 ticket will be reduced to $35. How's that?
Sounds good to me. 35 to 35. And then the discount is all the air in between.
Well, there we go. Can't beat that. All right, folks, today we have had Sammy, tell us about your meeting tomorrow.
Oh, this is
Chamber meeting,
Black Chamber of Commerce, Inland Empire Business Mixer, always second Monday, last Monday, and first Friday. So Monday, tomorrow is the last Monday. It will be held at New Hope Family Life Center at 6:30. So come on in. Our guest speaker is Mr. Terry Forkin, so he's going to come and give you a piece of his mind. And
his mind is always about protecting your kids, your daughters in particular. Exactly. And being a big father, whether you are a male or a female, he says that being a father is very important. So you can do those things and support the chamber
Yes.
Come out and get some information that you haven't been
Bring
getting.
business cards and be ready to talk about your business. It's all about growth, and networking is the main element in building a business.
That and getting customers.
Well, that's how you get customers.
And that's how you get
Networking.
customers.
The more
Okay.
people you meet, the more people know about you. See, because you met this guy, okay, and then you actually went to talk to him. Now you're telling me all the goodness.
You know, we're talking about Rogers Burgers. We're actually talking about the building on the corner of 6th and D.
Yeah.
West Side Story newspaper has been occupying the building next to the building on the corner since 2000. And during that time, we've had several owners come in and, you know, try to open the business. They opened the business and they did okay. And you, during that 15-year period of time, never heard me come in on the radio and tell you how great their food was or anything about their commitment. And it's because they were just regular. But there's something special about not just Rogers food, but about the attitude that says, I'm coming into your town. I'm coming into a town that has a bad reputation, bad reputation for business. They give you a lot of runaround and trying to, and they're better. And so we saw the construction taking place and building this and this. And one day I looked over there and it's a really pretty building. It's trimmed in red, white, clean, got a great patio out front. Rogers Burgers. Okay, burger stand. All right, great. But he's next door, so I'm going to go try it out. But before I could try it out, a couple of people came and told me, Wallace, have you tried Rogers Burgers next door? And I wanted to lie and say, well, yeah, I helped him open up, but I didn't. I just said, no, but I'm on my way. So it was about a week after he opened that I really went over and checked the menu out. He's got a burger there that was really interesting called the Wild and Reckless. I said, okay, that's his signature deal. And then he's got a Wild and Reckless, a 4x4 Wild and Reckless. That's where he puts 4 of those tremendous.
Oh my God.
That's too much.
No.
That's too much. That's too much.
No,
My big.
guys.
I have a son who eats trucks and aircraft carriers. He said the Wild and Reckless is the burger by itself. You don't even need to put 2 or 3 on. The Wild and Reckless burger. I'm going to read to you what it has. If you read it, Tam. I know you don't want to read that. I'll read it.
No.
I'll read it. It's a 3rd-pound patty, tomato, red onion. Love me some red onions. Mustard sauce, pickled bacon, chili, cheese, topped with pastrami. $6.99. I'm going to tell you what. Don't try to eat this while you're driving. It will not work. You're going to spill it all over yourself, and you may run into somebody. Pull over or sit down and eat it when you buy it. And there's all kind of other things. Go check Roger out. Meanwhile, eat healthy. Eat raw. The healthier you eat between your trips to Rogers, the more Rogers you can eat. That's the way I've been doing it. I know, Tammy. It's 3 steps forward and a step and a half back. But if it's 3 steps forward and a step and a half back, that means you're making progress. A little bit. Okay.
To each his own.
To each his. Okay, I'm going to talk about the vegan sandwich. Okay.
Well, yeah, and I am gonna go over and check it out.
And he's got a garden sandwich also.
No, don't do garden.
Okay.
But it has mozzarella cheese on it. But the vegan patty, and I will go and check it out, is wheat, coconut oil. It has the right oil. Potatoes we can do without. Plus this heme.
Heme, H-E-M-E. Roger, she wants to know what that is.
Plant-based meat substitute. So
Oh, that's what
I
it
need.
is.
I
Okay.
know that's what I got to figure out.
Okay.
Is that what that is? So me and Roger, we will talk, and hopefully they got some vegan mayonnaise. So but we will see. Roger, I'm coming for you.
This is Empire Talks Back. We've been talking about the integrity of Mr. John McCain. I think I called him George earlier. But Mr. John McCain has transitioned into his new position of hero, patriot, and we respect him and give all of our salutations to his family. We're out of here. Be back under 2 circumstances. good Lord's willing, and the creek don't rise. God bless you. See you next week in our new house.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Or call 1-877-333-5885 to get practical health and wellness tips to provide even better care for your loved one.
Are we there yet?
Remember, visit aarp.org/caregiving. AARP, we help you help. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. For decades now, if you wanted a smooth, resilient finish on a table you were painting, you turned to oil-based paints. They stuck to the...
I'm Jeff Biggs, and Week 3 of the NFL preseason concludes today with a pair of games. First up from Buffalo, a late afternoon affair between the Bills and the Bengals, with rookie Josh Allen looking to lock up the Bills' starting quarterback job.
I mean, it's crazy to think about, definitely. But I'm not going out there to try to prove why I'm the starter or whatever the case may be. I'm going out there to play football and move the chains, put points on the board, and help this offense in whatever way I can. You know, this is an opportunity for me, and, you know, I'm not going to take it lightly, you know, but at the same time, I'm here for whatever the team needs, and I'm just going to try to do my job.
Kickoff is at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and then tonight, preseason Sunday Night Football on NBC as the Cowboys host the Cardinals. It appears that Jason Garrett is going to rest most of his offensive starters, but we'll see. Meanwhile, a Cardinals quarterback, Josh Rosen, is going to be a game-time decision with a thumb injury. Sunday baseball is underway. The Red Sox are trying to avoid getting swept at Tampa Bay, but right now they're down 2-0 in the bottom of the third. Nate Eovaldi facing his former team, the Rays, for the first time since they traded him to Boston. And again, Tampa Bay is up 2-0. No score in the third between the Braves and the Marlins. Also, the Nats and the Mets are scoreless as well. The Phillies are up in Toronto 3-0. Golf, Bryson DeChambeau is about to tee off with a 4-shot lead at 16 under, final round of the Northern Trust. This NBC Sports Update has been brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Carry out a large 2-topping Pizza Hut pizza for just $5.99 when you order online. Hurry, this deal ends Sunday.
She tries to keep up on current events, particularly stories about Ivana Trump and alien landings. We got to a story where a few obscure animal rights groups have called for the nation's 66 million pet cats to be kept indoors for life. Why? Asked Miss Kitty. Well, I answered, this says that free-roaming cats kill from 8 million to 217 million birds a year in Wisconsin alone. My, I had no idea there were that many birds in Wisconsin. Yes, and one person was quoted as saying, we don't want our house companions going out and killing other animals. What about mice? Asked Miss Kitty.
There's a new furniture store in town, DC Furniture in the Tri-City Center. What's so grand about DC Furniture? Well, they've got a wide selection and discounts up to 70% off retail. But the best part is they carry furniture for your home, not for some magazine photos. Furniture you can live with. That's what you get at DC Furniture, just off the Alabama exit of Interstate 10 on Industrial Parkway in Redlands. You'll feel at home at DC Furniture. In the Inland Empire, you know how much it means to have neighbors you can count on, like the Cookout Kings who invite you over every weekend for Burger Palooza. Well, here's another good neighbor you can count on, State Farm agent Joe Amlani. He and his team are here to help life go right when you combine your home and auto insurance, which can save you money and time. So combine home and auto and start the savings rolling. Call State Farm agent Joe Amlani, 909-894-4619 today.
Re-elect Riverside County Sheriff Stan Sniff on November 6th, because Sheriff Sniff will keep us safe. The FBI reports that violent crime decreased dramatically in Riverside County in 2017. That proves the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, led by Sheriff Stan Sniff, is doing its job. Vote for experience, honesty, and integrity. Vote for the sheriff who keeps us safe. Vote to re-elect Riverside County Sheriff Stan Sniff on November 6th. Paid for by Friends of Stan Sniff.
Wet n Wild Palm Springs is the one where you get big water park fun. Yeah, dive into all the action-packed thrills with exciting rides, slippery slides, cool water adventures, and so many ways to just chill. So get everyone together and get to Wet n